All right. If you're aiming for a high-end job in finance, thinking it's going to make you rich, I'm here to tell you it won't. Yes, you heard me right. Six-figure trading job, shiny portfolio management role at a hedge fund, risk management, business development at one of these top-end investment banks. None of those jobs will teach you how to build real wealth. In fact, the very system that gives you those jobs is designated and designed to indoctrinate, not educate you about money. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why that is and what it really takes to make money and build wealth. Right, let's start at the beginning. How do you even get one of these jobs? You follow a formula, and that formula has been the same for decades. You go to school and you get top grades. You get into a top 5 university, ideally a top 5 university in the US or Western Europe. You study something tough, or at least something that sounds tough. Maths, physics, engineering, finance, economics, something that looks impressive on a resume. You load up on extracurriculars and bonus points if those are expensive or exclusive extracurriculars, like fencing or rowing or something like that. Then, when you're at university or college, you secure yourself a summer internship at a prestigious bank, fund, or trading house. You network like crazy during that internship. You make sure people like you and you can get along with people. You try not to screw up. And then eventually you land yourself an offer onto one of these graduate programs. It sounds impressive, right? Here's the thing. That path to getting a high-end finance job, that path isn't about you. It's not about your creativity or your curiosity or independent thinking. It's about conformity. It's about fitting into a mold. You're rewarded not for thinking outside the box, but for operating perfectly within the box. Now let's say you made it in. You're in. Congratulations. You're a trader, an analyst, a VP, whatever. You're told this is a commercial role. It's a business-orientated role and that it's entrepreneurial. But what are you really doing day to day in that job? In reality, you're pulling levers inside a system that someone else built. The data, the tools, the models, it's all pre-packaged. In my commodity trading days, we had analysts, internal supply and demand forecasts, a company's balance sheet behind us, physical assets behind us, feeding us real-time info. Everything was already set up for us. All we had to do was operate the machine. That's not entrepreneurship. That's being a highly paid operator. You're not building the machine. You're not building the business or the system. You're following its rules. And the system wants it that way. That's why the entry path is so narrow and specific. Good schools, right degrees, right internships. They're not selecting for thinkers. They're not selecting for entrepreneurs. They're selecting for followers who excel within predefined boundaries. And here's the irony. The more you succeed in that system, the more you succeed in that high-end finance job, the more deeply indoctrinated you become. This isn't wealth creation. It's status maintenance. It's comfort zone preservation. And worst of all, it actively discourages you from thinking independently, the very thing that true wealth demands. So now, another thing I wanted to talk about alongside these high-end finance jobs was lifestyle. Let's say you're on $300,000 a year, not even counting bonus. But now you've got this high salary, you need to live in the right neighborhood, in the right kind of apartment, $6,000, $7,000 a month, easy. Everybody on desk has got a watch, Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek. Welcome to your $40,000 initiation ritual. Then you've got to dress right, you've got to travel right, golf, ski, repeat. Everyone around you is doing the same. You can't stick out. You've got to conform. The game is about conforming. Now, that's not building wealth. What that is a very expensive lifestyle. And you might be surprised to know a lot of people who work in these high-end finance jobs are actually pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. It's consummation, it's consumption cosplay, and it's expensive. So expensive that people are earning hundreds of thousands a year, yet they still live paycheck to paycheck, just to keep up appearances. Even when you get $1 million bonus, the system's going to find a way to swallow it. You've got to get a bigger house, you've got to get a nicer car, private school for the kids, second property. you never break free. You're just leveling up your cage because you're not engaging the right skills to build wealth. Here's the truth. Most people in high finance will never tell you. To build wealth, to get rich, you need to do things that this system actively discourages. You need to think independently to spot opportunities. You need to be willing to go off the beaten path, to start something, to build something, to bet on yourself. You need to be okay with uncertainty and no playbook. You need to live below your means, not at or above them. Wealth, like I said in my previous video, is built through leverage. And I don't mean borrowing money against assets. I mean leveraging systems to work for you. Wealth is built through ownership, equity, long-term thinking. These are behavioural traits that you won't learn or be encouraged to learn in a high finance job, where your skill set is hyper specialized and your identity is tied to a paycheck. So no, a high finance job won't make you rich. It's going to pay you well, no doubt about that. And you're going to impress your friends. You might even feel prestigious, but it won't teach you how to build wealth. You're not going to get those innate skills, those behavioral traits that are required to build wealth. And it definitely won't encourage the traits you need to do it on your own. To get rich, to build wealth, you've got to unlearn that system and start thinking for yourself. If this hit home, like the video, drop a comment and subscribe. I've got a lot more comment coming through on how to build wealth from the ground up. No fluff, no flex, just facts. Thanks.